Hello fellow sim racers. In the past few days, Kunos have been releasing patches and hotfixes for Assetto Corsa Evo, and now we can finally complete the Academy challenges. In today's video, I will complete the first 5 sports car challenges with 3 gold stars each. You'll see all 5 of them uninterrupted, and at the end of the video, I'll do a quick guide for each of the challenges so you can pass them with 3 stars as well. Let's go! Okay, so let's start with the first challenge, your first hairpin with the Audi RS3. Well, this one is fairly straightforward and very easy to do. It took me only one try to do it. The one advice I can only give you here is just disable the traction control if you want to, or reduce it, because first of all the car is a lot of fun, but also you just gain a lot of speed out of the corner. So yeah, again, this one is very easy to do. Okay, moving on to the second challenge, L-turns with the Ford Escort RS Cosworth. Now this one is a little bit more tricky compared to the first one. The first part of the section here is very straightforward. Just make sure that you cut here this apex. Now use all the track over here, and this left-hander is the most tricky part of this challenge. So just make sure that you cut across a little bit sooner than you might think, and then downshift to second gear. If you keep it on third gear, the car just has no torque, so you'll be losing a lot of speed. So make sure you drop it to second and then accelerate all the way to the finish line. Okay, moving on to the next challenge, and I think this one is the most difficult one, the electric car fast corner. Now, before we go on with the lap, a couple of things to keep in mind about the car. Number one, on corner entry, the car exhibits very aggressive lift-off oversteer, so you have to be very careful how you lift off, because it's very easy to lose the rear and spin. On the other hand, you have to be very patient on corner exit, because as soon as you apply the throttle, the car starts understeering. So again, on entry, be careful, and on exit, you have to be very patient. Other than that, make sure that you don't disable the traction control, because especially here at the start of the lap, you will lose a lot of time in wheel spin. So keep the traction control on. Now what I'm doing is I keep it also on through this first right-hander. However, I actually disable it for the second right-hander, because I feel like I had a little bit more freedom and a bit more turn-in entry oversteer. So this one here, as you can see, I turn it off. And as I said, the challenge is not very easy. It took me a few tries as well. So just be patient, give it your best, and I'm sure that you'll make it. Okay, moving on to challenge number 4, rear-wheel drive with a Toyota GR86. This one is fairly straightforward, especially if you know Brands Hatch. It took me only one try to complete it with 3 stars. The car itself is very fun to drive. I think it's very easy to drive as well. There is a little bit of oversteer, but just enough to have fun, and it's not too aggressive. So again, it's a lot of fun. Onto the lap, through this first section, this first right-hander, keep it on third gear. Fourth gear here, then again downshift to third gear, this left-hander. And next is probably the most tricky part of this challenge, which is the last corner at Brands Hatch, the right-hander. It is easy to lose the rear there at corner entry and mid-corner, so enter on fourth gear, downshift to third, balance it, short shift to fourth, and on throttle, pass. Okay, and moving on to the last challenge, challenge number 5, which is called Show Us the Lap. As the title suggests, this is an entire lap around Brands Hatch with the Alpine. Now obviously, this being a whole lap, you have to be focused for a lot longer, but the lap time itself is not very challenging. There is just a couple of things around the lap to remember, especially for me. When I started doing this challenge, this first right-hander, for some reason I just kept on understeering into the gravel, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. So I never made it past turn 1, but other than that, as soon as I passed turn 1, then it was just very easy from there. So keep it 4th gear through turn 1, 5th gear here, then downshift all the way to 2nd gear. So the car is just gonna turn, short shift to 3rd gear, then 4th gear here, and then down to 3rd gear through this left-hander. I actually run wide, so that was not ideal, but 4th gear here. So this with the Ford Escort was a little bit more challenging, but here being a whole lap is not too bad. So just again, cut across a little bit sooner than you might think, 3rd gear, and then off you go on throttle to 4th gear, down the straight, and here downshift to 4th gear. Just be careful on the downshifts because the car can oversteer a little bit. And through this right-hander, keep it 4th gear, no need to downshift to 3rd gear. And the same with the next one. Again, keep it in 4th, don't go down to 3rd gear, there's no point. Yeah, it was a lot of fun through this section. Down to 3rd gear here in the left-hander. And just like with the Toyota GR86, we're reaching the final corner at Brands Hatch, which is a bit tricky. Keep it in 4th gear, no need to drop it to 3rd with this one. And just like that, that's a challenge completed with 3 stars. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.